Once upon a time, a young man who was success hungry decided to go on a journey to see an old successful businessman. The old man was so successful that all the world have come to recognize him for the fame of his business. Due to the tight schedule of this old businessman, the request of the young man to come see him kept on postponing and postponing. Finally, they got a chance to meet. And while they sat to discuss, the young man poured out to the old man how much pain and struggle he had had in his business. He told him of the failures, he told him of the hard times, and he told him of the losses he had had in his business. After a very long moment of complaint from the young man, the old man decided to speak up. And then he said to the young man, "Young man, all you need to do right now for your business to blossom is to sit down. Yes, sit down." The young man was so surprised that this was all the old man could say. And with so much disappointment, the young man left the house of the old man angrily, wondering why all he had to tell him was 3 words. He went back to his base and continued with his business. And business grew from bad to worse. Out of frustration one day, he went back home to think. And while thinking, he remembered the words of the old man to him. "Just sit down." And so, he went to the table where he had written a whole lot of visions about himself and his business. Right there, he saw how much mistakes he has been making in not doing what he had written down. So he decided to read over and over again. Then, he started applying the principles to his business. Weeks later, his business started blossoming again. It kept on becoming better. Months down the line, he went back to the old man to thank him for the advice which he had given him. This was how this young businessman became prosperous again. Dear ones, in this life, most of the answers to our questions are just sitting right next to us. But because we have become so busy, because we want to be everywhere, we don't tend to find the answers to our questions. Just like the old man said to the young man, why not sit down? Why not sit down to add more knowledge? Why not sit down to go through that vision you've written down? Why not sit down to read books on purpose, on life, on destiny? Why not sit down to remind yourself of what you promised to do? Why not sit down to learn that skill? Why not sit down to apply those principles?